Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to King Arena. I'm Nate Stein alongside Andrew Pitkin. We have the championship game in the 22nd Annual Leaf Fund Classic coming up for you tonight on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network between your Wheaton Thunder and the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. The third place game saw University of Wisconsin River Falls knock off DePaul and what was a pretty wild finish in overtime.
Yeah, it was pretty controversial going down to the wire. There were a couple of foul calls that Coach Fenlon really wanted to be looked at more closely, but in the end, it was UW River Falls, and they really weren't in the game until the last 2, maybe 3 minutes. UW River Falls, number 10 team in the nation, hanging tough, coming out with a win in overtime.
Yeah, and that probably saves their early season's hopes of staying in the upper half of the top 25. You'd probably see them drop down to 15 or 16, but I can't imagine them falling much farther than that after taking down a pretty solid DePaul team.
Yeah, and it's really early in the season. Some of these games, a lot of these teams are still trying to figure out what they're good at and who they are, and UW River Falls has plenty of pieces. And I think for the rest of the season they'll be fine, but just a couple of early tests, and one of them being these Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Yeah,
and this Baldwin Wallace team surprised a few people. They were a middle-of-the-road team in their conference last year, finished 6th in the OAC, 15-13 overall, 8-10 in conference, but they have some guys who can pour it in. Cam Kuhn and Jay Battle are studs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jay Battle really coming into his own so far this season. He got 23 points in the game yesterday against UW River Falls. Cam Kuhn also 23 points. Cam Kuhn, just real quickly, 3 school records, 51 points in a game, 9 3-pointers in the game, as well as 15 of 15 from the free throw line. That dude's an offensive threat.
Yeah, and this could be a shootout tonight, but for now, we're going to send it onto the court for the national anthem and the starting lineups. We'll be back with you after this.
Baldwin Wallace University Yellow Jackets. And now, would everyone please rise to the playing of the national anthem? Yes.
Now the starting lineups. First for the visitors from Baldwin Wallace. At one guard, a 6-foot junior out of Lincoln High School, number 2, Jay Battle. The other guards, a 5'9" sophomore out of Brunswick, number 3, Michael Quiring. At 1 forward, a 6'5" senior out of Medina, Ohio, number 25, Mike Kaminsky. The other forward, a 6'1" senior out of Vermilion, number 30, Cam Kuhn. In at center, a 6'7" senior out of Norwalk, number 33, Jake Featheroff. The Yellow Jackets are coached by Tom Heil, who's assisted by Brian Schmidt, Keonta Howell, and Brad Robinson. And now, Wheaton College fans, on your feet, the starting lineup for your Wheaton College Thunder. At one guard, a 6'1" junior out of Tyler, Texas, number 1, Aston Francis. The other guard's a 6'3" senior out of New Trier High School, number 22, Ricky Samuelson. At 1 forward, a 6'6" junior out of Flint, Texas, number 5, Trevor Gunter. The other forward is 6'4" junior out of Medina, Ohio, number 34, Luke Peters. And at center is 6'8" sophomore out of Chicago, number 25, Anajawan Spencer. Wheaton College is coached by Mike Schauer, who's assisted by JP, John Panner, and Tay Gibbs.
The rim.
That's unblockable, the way he goes up with both hands so strong, able to guard the ball with his offhand.
Riken's Rowdies out in full force as we saw last night. Francis looking for somewhere to go with it, kicks it out to Spencer. 10 on the shot clock, Francis will reset. Uses Gunter's screen. 4 seconds, Francis a deep three. Rebound goes out of bounds, last touch feather off.
And people still filing into the stands here, but like you said, Riken's Rowdies at full force tonight.
Francis gets it into Peters, working down low on Battle, and Battle's going to get called for a hand check.
This Baldwin Wallace team, going back to last season, won 6 out of their last 7. They won 5 in a row and then met number 8 Marietta in the OAC Tournament Championship and fell to them.
Peters with Battle. Samuelson had 34, career high 34 points last night on a spectacular 8 of 9 from deep, 12 of 15 overall as Peters goes to work down low against Battle.
Good job there from Peters. Once he's that low, it almost doesn't matter who's guarding him. He'll find a way to finish because he's got post moves.
Yeah, Peters is a guard on the roster, but at 6'4", has a post presence to be sure, and will score down low over a 6-foot J Battle all day long. Quiring kicks it out to Kaminsky. Francis takes that away, and there's going to be a whistle against Quiring. Thunder ball. Get another look on the Realty Executives replay. Francis, active hands in the passing lane. Quiring just hooks him a little bit.
Yeah, and Quiring will want that foul to go on his teammate Kaminsky, rather, because it was Kaminsky with the ill-advised pass that caused that.
Samuelson on the left wing. Up top for Francis. Spencer working it inside to Peters. Kuhn guarding Peters now. Peters left hand can't finish with the soft touch. Kaminsky pulls down the board. Kuhn working on the left wing. Screen from Kaminsky. Samuelson struggles getting around it. Good recovery. Battle up top, fires a 3. Rims out, rebound Samuelson. Peters in transition, has Samuelson, drives baseline, up and over Battle. Thunder take a 4-2 lead.
Still got to watch out for Cam Kuhn. He was nearly at the rim if it weren't for some help defense right before he got there.
Battle working on Peters. Help defense from Spencer, and an illegal screen on Kaminsky will give the Thunder the ball. So early foul trouble for the Yellow Jackets. 3 already in the first 3+ minutes. No fouls yet on the Thunder. Peters will have the ball handling duties. Francis on the right wing, Quiring in his face. Francis steps back, baseline jumper, rattles out, Featheroff with it.
That's still a really good shot for him. It'll fall eventually, and Quiring not with a ton of height, just 5'9" on Francis, 6 foot even.
Quiring steps back for a 3, and that one floats home with the soft touch. Peters working on Kuhn. Spencer up top, resets with Francis. Spinning into the lane is Francis, backdoor cut Gunter, and Gunter with the nice reverse to get around Featheroff.
And that's good for Francis to keep his eyes up, because I think sometimes he gets locked into scoring mode. But seeing that he got stopped and then had Gunter on the back cut, that's exactly when the Thunder Bigs need the back cut, once Aston Francis has picked the ball up.
Featheroff up top for Quiring. Quiring drives left, spins right, kicks it out. Nader trying to go somewhere with it. It'll stay Yellow Jacket ball, but just 5 on the shot clock. They're going to need to get something quick.
Number 10, Kyle Nader, a Malone University Division II transfer, coming on over to Baldwin Wallace to help him early off the bench, just 4 minutes into the game, and he was already checking in.
Kuhn takes the inbound, goes baseline, pulls up. No good, rebound Francis. Foul on the floor. And that's going to be a foul on Kobe Eichelberger for pulling down Tyler Colombo.
I thought the referee said white ball. I guess not. I didn't see much of a foul there, but I guess I wasn't looking for it.
Not a whole lot there. It looked like Eichelberger maybe just pulled down his arm as Quiring drives into the lane, rises up, and finishes. "7-6 your score. The Yellow Jackets on top in the first 5 minutes of action. Eichelberger used that jab left, spinning into the lane, finishing over the top of Colombo.
Yeah, you said it, that jab left go right. But once he was stopped, had the presence of mind to spin back to his left and finish because he has so much hops.
Quiring can't finish through some contact, looking for a foul. Thunder run the break, tipped away by Kuhn, stay Thunder ball.
Ill-advised pass from Francis.
Yeah, trying to find Ricky Samuelson as a trailer on that left wing, but Cam Kuhn with a heads-up defensive play, knowing not to let Samuelson, who started off very hot this season, get anything going. Eichelberger gets the ball into Francis. Gunter with it. And Gunter just throws that one away. That ball not close to anybody. We'll see Zach Quam enter the game now.
Well, I'd feel a little bit better if that pass had a little bit more force and conviction behind it too, but it was floated, and maybe that's because he realized what he was doing halfway through the pass, but if that's true, that's not a good thing either. There's got to be confidence behind those passes if the Thunder want to continue in this game and to hold a lead.
So Peters now on Kuhn. Quam, who just checked in, will be guarding Jay Battle. Quam, someone who Coach Schauer was very complimentary of after yesterday's game in the post-game interview, as Kuhn spins through the lane and finishes for 2. Quam kicks out to Francis. Catch and release 3. Aston Francis.
You saw Nader turn around like, man, and he should expect that from Aston Francis. Even if he doesn't, I see him shaking his head now, but even the best contested of shots, Aston Francis, an All-American, one of the best shooters in NCAA D3.
Battle drives in, pump fakes, gets Quam off his feet, and cool finish from the mid-range.
Kuhn followed up by Battle. I think that's going to be a couple names followed one after another for the Yellow Jackets. It's the winning formula.
Eichelberger working on Colombo, draws the foul, and Eichelberger will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Eichelberger, more than last season, is taking a much more assertive role, as you see here on the Realty Executives replay, going toward the hoop. Usually last season, a player who would kind of sit out around the perimeter, and if he was a little clearer, then he would be able to drive.
First one from Eichelberger, front irons. Thunder had some free throw line woes starting out early in the game yesterday. They're looking to turn that around today, as we'll see Cade Alioth enter the game for the first time. One of the freshmen on this team that saw pretty major minutes in yesterday's matchup.
Yeah, Cade Alioth, Coach Schauer, I believe, said, quote, he's the most natural rebounder that they've had maybe since Nate Haynes. That's a big name in Thunder basketball.
That is very high praise, as Haynes was a part of that group in the late 2000s. 2008.
Early 2010,
2008 to 2012, really, where the Thunder were just dominant in basketball. It's that Ty Peters, Nate Haynes, Ben Panner era.
Terrifying era for a lot of CCIW opponents.
Battle to inbound on the far side. Working on Peters, and Peters going to get called for a hand check.
And we talked last night about some of the foul issues. Aston Francis and Peters, two of the main culprits of that. Luckily, Ricky Samuelson was playing out of his mind last night, dropping 34 points. But those guys have to stay in the game. They're key offensive tools for the Thunder.
And the foul troubles, as you mentioned, the reason that we got a pretty healthy dose of freshman Zach Holman last night. Eichelberger in transition goes right at Colombo, loses control. Colombo on the break, gets it through. Francis got a piece of that, threw it off the backboard. Come on.
There's nothing he can't do.
Alioth with it. Francis driving into the lane, went through some contact, no whistle. And now a double dribble called on an easy fast break opportunity thrown away for the Yellow Jackets. That's just a mental mistake right there.
Yeah, Yellow Jackets going to have to eliminate those to stay in the game. Their key is not turning over the ball too much. Last season took care of the ball quite well, 9th in the nation for fewest turnovers per game at 10.1.
Francis, step back three, rattles around, and Alioth will get called for an over the back.
That's a tough one. I think they're getting him for his hand down low.
They'll see it again. Left hand kind of in the back there of Alex Nahara. Battle bringing the ball up. Samuelson will guard him. Nara. Kicks it out to Nader. And nowhere to go for Schaefer, and Schaefer throws it away. Great defense down low from Zach Quam. Just hands everywhere in Schaefer's face, not giving him a clean look at anything.
Yeah, Luke Schaefer out of Medina, Ohio. Just a freshman, guys, first 2 points of his collegiate career, and now in a pretty hostile environment for his second game of his career, playing against the home team in this tournament.
Francis on the right wing, down low, looking for Samuelson, and a beautiful back cut as Samuelson draws a foul. I think that's going to go against Schaefer, and it will. So Schaefer picks up his first. 5 fouls for the Yellow Jackets already, 4 for the Thunder, 12-11, just over 8 minutes past in the first half. And just an ill-advised pass from Quan on the inbound, trying to find Francis behind the defense, but not a whole lot there. He got wedged into the corner and couldn't keep his balance.
Yeah, sometimes everybody on the Thunder team gets a little bit of Francis vision. They're all looking for him, and he's looking to get open for a shot. He's such a skilled player, but when you get focused in on one player like that, a defense can adjust to it.
Kaminsky for three, no good. Alioth with a huge rebound. And there you see what you mentioned earlier where Coach Schauer said he's one of the most natural rebounders he's seen. And Alioth just looks comfortable down low. Rises up with two hands, comes down strong every time. Samuelson for three. He stays hot. Call back from last night. Samuelson now shooting 90% from deep on the season.
Anybody who's played basketball before and has been a shooter can remember those times where you had a good game and the basket just looks huge.
Battle rattles around a three. Alioth with a huge rebound goes down and kind of loses the ball in the air.
Yeah,
the Yellow Jackets will have another shot.
Looked to me like he got tripped.
It'll remain Yellow Jacket ball down low as we see Peters, Holman, and Gunter enter the game for the Thunder. Firing back in for the Yellow Jackets, as is Featheroff.
Look at all these substitutions for the Thunder. We talked about in the last broadcast, but to be able to put in a player like Zach Holman, freshman in a 15-11 game, not have to play Aston Francis for 35 minutes.
And Jay Spencer draws the foul. He rose up and looking at his hand in disbelief. Can't believe he didn't finish that one.
Kaminsky just coming over as a safety valve there, hitting his arm. But Jay wanted that one.
So Spencer to the line to shoot two. That's Kaminsky's second foul. First one from Spencer will go.
Ricky Samuelson, 90% from three-point range on the season.
Some may say it's unsustainable, but hey, we're into game number 2 and he's still there.
He's still there.
Doesn't look like he's planning on missing anytime soon either.
Beaming with confidence. And that shot at the top of the key had a hand in his face, no doubt.
Featheroff looking for somewhere to go, kicks it out to Quiring. 10 on the shot clock. Quiring trying to get into the lane, and he somehow weaves through the defense and finishes with the left hand.
Boy, he made Ricky Samuelson really think he was going back to the top of the key. Quick crossover to the left and an easy finish.
Gunter on the left wing. Up top for Holman. Samuelson working inside through some contact. And he'll be pulled down by Nara. Sabula up top. Now down low for Nara. And there'll be a foul on the floor. It'll go against Spencer.
I just noticed Cam Kuhn on the bench right now. No foul trouble at all. 0 fouls on the game. And it's creating a little bit of havoc out there, just dribbling around. So interesting to see him on the bench. I'd imagine just a quick break.
Nara straightaway three, no good. Peters pulls down the rebound in the crowd. Holman taking his time up top. Battle providing the defense. 10 on the shot clock now for Samuelson on the left wing. Peters working down low on Quiring. Huge size advantage for Peters. Can't finish. Rebound Holman. Samuelson with it. Pulls up for a three. Come on! Ricky Samuelson. Is he ever going to miss again?
I don't think so. Like you said, he hasn't shown any signs of it.
Battle step back three, trying to go tit for tat, and he does.
That dude's a gamer. We saw in the UW River Falls game a couple of pull-up threes right at the beginning, just saying, this is who I am, come at me.
Peters working up top, swings it to Spencer. Gunter now on the right wing. Holman in the corner. And a bad pass behind Jay Spencer on the curl. They'll give the ball to the Yellow Jackets. Francis Eichelberger and Alioth re-enter the game. Kuhn will get back in for the Yellow Jackets. It looks like they might be using Kuhn and Battle 1-1 instead of having them both out there. Obviously, they're two most talented scorers, but not keeping them on the floor at the same time.
Yeah, maybe you throw one in to be the focus for a good part of the first half, and then when it comes down toward the end of the game, you put both of them in, and then you've got dual threats.
Alioth running the floor, and the big fella gets rewarded. Buckets in transition. Thunder on top, 21-16. Kuhn driving into the lane. He'll draw the foul. That'll go against Luke Peters.
Yeah, this is just a tough matchup for Peters as he's going beside him.
He just got a little bit horizontal, dropped his arms down there as he picks up his second foul.
He's got two now. I imagine Zach Quam is at the scorer's table to take him out.
And Peters questioning the official right now, asking him how you can better defend that play in that situation. And Peters will go to the bench to get a breather. Kuhn missed his first.
Yeah, I think once the screen had occurred, there was no way for Luke Peters to get back there. Also, Kuhn, usually a fantastic free throw shooter.
Yeah, going over there.
Last season, 84%.
Quam finds Alioth all alone down low, but he can't finish. Good recovery from Featheroff. Quiring driving into the lane, can't finish. Looking for some sort of call. I think maybe questioning a goaltend as Alioth slapped the backboard.
It was actually Eichelberger.
Francis going to work, deep three. Back irons it. Quiring goes down in a heap after a collision. A little slow to get up. Kuhn now driving into the lane. No bucket, but that was a fancy finish.
Yeah, Cam Kuhn always forcing the issue. As you see, he's got, once he gets Quam on the move like that, and that finish, like you said, very nice. But once he gets Quam on the move like that, it's just going to be very hard for him to square him back up because Kuhn, with more size as well, just going to be able to bump in tough situations, and now in the single bonus.
And Kuhn knocks that one down. Kuhn struggling to get comfortable from the free throw line with Riken's Rowdies right behind that backboard, making all sorts of noise.
Now 3 for 5 on the year, and I expect that to only continue to go up. But yeah, I think he was initially a little bit distracted by the fan section.
Francis up top, drives left, pulls up, mid-range jumper, count it.
And there you go, running a play for Aston Francis, getting his defender moving so that he doesn't have to create everything for himself.
Just inside 7 minutes to play in the first half. And that'll be a foul down low as Featheroff goes down in the heap. That'll be against the freshman Alioth. We'll get another look on the Realty Executives replay. Just getting a little tangled up there.
Yeah, if there's one complaint I have against Alioth, it's he racks up fouls pretty fast, and he'll learn to control that as he grows up. He's just got a heap of athleticism right now, and he's not sure exactly how to contain it.
Featheroff can't hit his first on the 1-and-1. Rebound Kuhn, so the Yellow Jackets will have another shot. Kuhn drives baseline, gets it to Colombo. Colombo finishes through the contact. Quam guarded by Battle. Running Francis around the baseline off some screens. Now he drives baseline. Fadeaway jumper, that's not a great shot.
Just forcing it.
Kuhn guarded by Samuelson, out to Battle.
Referee's raising up 3 fingers, but I think his foot's on the line here. We're going to see it. He's definitely on the line.
That should be just 2 shots.
His foot's on the line.
Trying to talk to the ref right now? Yeah, that one pretty clear. Happened right in front of us.
We have the benefit of a monitor. So
We do. We did get a second look at it. So Battle getting an extra shot out of the luck, we'll call it, and lack of a replay for the refs as he knocks down his first two. We'll see Holman and Gunter re-enter for the Thunder and Nader re-enter for the Yellow Jackets. And Battle goes 3-3. We're all tied up here at 23 apiece, courtesy of a 5-0 run from the Yellow Jackets, Baldwin Wallace, and a bad pass from Quam. Had Samuelson open on the back cut, but couldn't connect. And I'm not great at reading lips, but I think Jay Battle just told the ref his foot was on the line.
Yeah.
Did you see that too?
I mean, there was a conversation there between them with a couple of smiles. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't comment on this any longer. I've already done too much.
Colombo swings it around. Kuhn getting into the lane, hops through the defense, and Spencer will come out of the ruffle with it.
Thunder, a much better rebounding team this season than last.
Samuelson drives baseline, but the foul will be on the floor, and he'll go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1 as Baldwin Wallace makes her way into the bonus.
You see there just a little reach around from Cam Kuhn. Doesn't like the call, still discussing it with the ref, but now Samuelson with a couple of free throws, 2 of 2 yesterday.
First one will go from Samuelson, and the fact that he only shot 2 free throws yesterday just adds to how impressive his 34-point performance was. It's not like he was driving in and getting a lot of easy looks. A lot of those shots were coming off screens, hand in the face, pull up 3. And Samuelson goes 2 of 2.
Yeah, 12 of 15 from the field. That's just any shooter's dream day. One he'll remember for quite a while.
Samuelson, the Thunder leading scorer with 9 points. And he'll be the game's leading scorer as well as Kaminsky pulls up corner 3. Rebound Colombo, and he finishes past Gunter.
Gunter really close to that ball too. Got a late jump too. I think if he's able to time it a little bit earlier, he would have got there, but quick release and quick finish from Colombo.
Holman on the right wing working against Battle. Francis puts Nader on skates, pump fakes. But he's going to be whistled for the travel, saying he lost his pivot foot.
I don't know yet, but I think maybe we're seeing Francis struggling in a transition this season, where last season we talked about how he was the only option. And this season I think there's a lot more players on the court that are capable of scoring than himself. And I think he's still in that I'm the only scorer mode. And so I think this team's going to be okay. He's just going to have to understand later that he's got plenty of options on this team. Eichelberger scoring 11 yesterday.
Battle's going to go to the line to shoot a pair after the foul against Eichelberger. Has a chance to give Baldwin Wallace the lead. And he does. Eichelberger now with 2 fouls will find a spot on the bench as Alioth re-enters. Nara re-enters for the Yellow Jackets. Battle stays perfect from the charity stripe. Going 2 of 2 there. Holman with the ball. Gets it to Samuelson. Samuelson pulls up mid-range. Automatic.
You talk about a guy that never gets too high or too low. You know, he's even keel. I mean, he's got to be ecstatic on the inside, but we can't see that.
Alioth battling with Colombo. Kicked out to Battle for a 3. Rebound Samuelson. Francis trying to go coast to coast. Resets with Gunter. Francis, step back three. Count it. The Thunder back on top by 3, 30-27, 3.5 to play. Kuhn will pull up for a three of his own, and he airmails that one. And Rikens Rowdies will let him hear it for the rest of the night after that one. Now we'll see another foul on Kuhn here as Francis goes down the heap. And that'll be Kuhn's second. Yeah, just bull rushes through Francis on that screen. Easy call. And Francis at the line for a 1-and-1.
Certainly a little bit of embellishment from Francis. You gotta admit that.
Everybody does it. Unfortunately, it's a part of the game these days. Francis knocks down his first. And the second one rattles out, rebounded by Nara. Battle working on Samuelson. Swings it out to Colombo. Down low, Nara. Gunter working on Nara. Gets his own miss. Kicks it out, Quiring for three. He knocks it down. Quam getting it ahead to Samuelson. Francis, quick release, and just missed that one. Was fading to his left the whole way and missed it left.
Really high degree of difficulty shots.
Colombo follows it up with a three of his own, and the Yellow Jackets back on top by 2.
I understand I've sounded very down on Aston Francis the last 2 days, but that's just because the shots that he takes are not shots to get him back in a rhythm. I want him to take those shots as soon as he's back in rhythm.
Samuelson, and one! Ricky Samuelson, we talked about this yesterday, one of the best cutters on this Thunder squad, and showing it off there again.
Well, this is going to earn Ricky Samuelson a lot of attention from future opponents. Going to look at some tendencies, and he'll have to overcome that. Probably something he's not used to. I mean, has been a good and consistent scorer for the Thunder, always averaging in the teens for the last couple seasons. But in the future, people are going to know his name this season.
Yeah, and that puts Samuelson at 15 on the night to lead all scorers. Battle and Quiring at the top of the Baldwin Wallace side with 10 apiece as Battle misses the layup there, or misses the mid-range floater there. Samuelson kicks it to Quam. Alia going to take it himself, working down low on Featheroff. Gunter, Francis. Francis, step back three. And like you said before, good shot for him when he's in rhythm, but when he's trying to get back into it, you want to see something where he can be squared up and have a second to set himself.
Yeah, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. I think he figured this might be one of the better shots I can get, but maybe rotate it around. It can get back to you.
Colombo with a straightaway three rattles out. Rebound Samuelson. Thunder slow things down as we approach a minute left to play in the first half. Quam with a nice cut there, but can't finish through the body of Sabula.
That's just the gifting of Aston Francis, to be able to see Zach Quam before he's open and then throw the ball so that it gets there when he's open.
Quiring going to have a good look at a three, and he knocks that one down. 36-34. These teams going back and forth.
Well, if they didn't know Quiring can hit three-pointers before the game, they know now. 3 of 3 from deep.
Francis gets a Daliath, working in the lane. Floater over the top. Jay Battle will hold about a 10-second difference between the shot clock and game clock, so Thunder will get another shot. Battle driving into the lane, goes up, spins it, can't finish, gets his own rebound, kicks it out. Shot clock's off now. And Quiring loses his footing and gets called for a travel. 12.4 left in the first half. And the ball loose all over the place, going one direction then the other. Thunder will be able to take the last shot and try to take a lead into halftime.
Obviously going to look for a play run here for either Francis or Samuelson.
If you ask me, it's got to be Samuelson. He's been the hot hand all weekend. Francis, step back. But he's going to be called for a travel, half a second on the clock. Can't imagine the Yellow Jackets will be able to get off anything resembling a pretty good look. And they'll just let the clock run out as battle gets to Quiring. 20 minutes gone. We're all tied up here at 36 in King Arena. We're going to take a quick break for halftime, but stick with us here on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. For Andrew Pitkin, I'm Nate Stein.
We believe in one sovereign God, eternally existing in three persons, the everlasting Father, His only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord, and the Holy Spirit, the giver of life.
And we believe that God created the heavens and the earth out of nothing by His spoken word and for His own glory.
We believe that God has revealed Himself and His truth in the created order, in the Scriptures, and supremely in Jesus Christ.
We believe that the Scriptures of the Old and New Testaments are verbally inspired by God and inerrant in the original writing, so that they are fully trustworthy and of supreme and final authority in all they say.
We believe that Jesus Christ was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin Mary, was true God and true man, existing in one person and without sin.
We believe in the resurrection of the crucified body of our Lord, His ascension into heaven, and His present life there for us as Lord, High Priest, and Advocate.
We believe that God directly created Adam and Eve, the historical parents of the entire human race. And they were created in His own image, distinct from all other living creatures, and in a state of original righteousness.
We believe that our first parents sinned by rebelling against God's revealed will, and thereby incurred physical and spiritual death. And as a result, all human beings are born with a sinful nature that leads them to sin in word, thought, and deed.
We believe in the existence of Satan, sin, and evil powers, and that these have been defeated by God in the cross of Christ.
We believe that the Lord Jesus Christ died for our sins, according to the Scriptures, as a representative and substitutionary sacrifice, triumphing over all evil, and that all who believe in Him are justified by His shed blood and forgiven of all their sins.
We believe that all who receive the Lord Jesus Christ by faith are born again of the Holy Spirit, and thereby become children of God, and are enabled to offer spiritual worship acceptable to God.
We believe that the Holy Spirit indwells and gives life to believers, enables them to understand the Scriptures, empowers them for godly living, and equips them for service and witness.
We believe that the one holy universal church is the body of Christ and is composed of Christ's people.
The task of Christ's people in this world is to be God's redeemed people, embodying His love by worshiping God with confession, prayer, and praise, by proclaiming the gospel of God's redemptive love through our Lord Jesus Christ to the ends of the earth by word and deed, by caring for all God's creation, by actively seeking the good of everyone, especially the poor and the needy.
We believe in the blessed hope that Jesus Christ will soon return to this earth, personally, visibly, and unexpectedly, in power and great glory, to gather His elect, to raise the dead, to judge the nations, and to bring His kingdom to fulfillment.
We believe in the bodily resurrection of the just and the unjust, the everlasting punishment of the lost, and the everlasting blessedness of the saved.
And the sun was shining as well as it could on the shadowy river, a good part of the shine being caught in the trees. Since about this time last year, painting the Fox River, starting up in West Dundee in the north, we're going to cover all the way down to Ottawa. I hope that it happens at least with one painting I make out of these 60 that, you know, when you look at it, it just leads you. It's heuristic. You know, it wants you to go. It wants you to encounter. I mean, I sometimes think of it as a kind of homesickness, you know, where you feel like your identity is out there somewhere else. You're here, but you have this pull, you know, to be somewhere, and it's an ache. In fact, in Gilead, you know, John Ames at some point talks about this town, Gilead, and he says, you know, this town has been wearied a little and then wearied a little more, and yet he says hope is still there. And I mean, that is the thing. Hope isn't the accomplishment. This whole idea of, you know, when is hope important? It's important when it's dark, you know, when you can't see. That's when it manifests itself as a possibility. So these paintings aren't about a sort of glorious resolution, but I hope they are something that makes one feel a glimmer of hope for possibilities.
Hi, I'm Abby Yoder. I grew up here in Wheaton, and I transferred to Wheaton College because I wanted to be in a place that would shape me as a learner and as a Christ follower. For me, one of the best parts of Wheaton was my time spent at Honey Rock, Wheaton's campus in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, where students can take classes, serve as camp counselors, and be developed as leaders. Honey Rock was a great place for me to grow in my faith, live out my sense for adventure, and form lifelong friendships. Whether it's Honey Rock or one of the many other ways to connect on campus, I'm excited to help you get a vision for life here at Wheaton.
Hi, I'm Nate Brown. College will be one of the most transformational experiences in your life. My education in the context of a Christian community helps shape the way I live and engage the world around me. I love that Wheaton relates Christian liberal arts to the needs of contemporary society. The classes are designed to combine faith and learning, giving you a biblical perspective that's accessible and applicable. Wheaton students are challenged to answer questions like, what does it mean to live as a Christian doctor, engineer, or business professional? Being in an environment with other students and faculty who are passionate about their faith and serious about their education will help you to know who you are in Christ and prepare you to go wherever He leads you. I look forward to helping you find your way to Wheaton. Talk to you soon.
Like when I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing. Like I can fly and I don't even think of touching the ground. Like a heartbeat skip, like an open page, like a one-way trip on an aeroplane. It's the way that I feel when I'm with you. Brand new. Like when I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing. Like I can fly and I don't even think of touching the ground. Like a heartbeat skip, like an open page, like a one-way trip on an aeroplane. It's the way that I feel when I'm with you. Brand new. I feel
And we are back here at King Arena, second half just moments away from getting underway, all knotted up at 36 apiece. And Andrew, one of the things we were talking about at halftime was the fact that there's 36 points on the board for the Yellow Jackets, only 4 players scoring, and surprisingly led by Michael Quiring, who has a sneaky 13 points so far tonight.
Yeah, Michael Quiring in the first game, just 5 points. More than doubled that here tonight. 13 points, 3 of 3 from deep. Some of those pretty deep too as well. NBA range type shots. The other scorers are Jay Battle and Cam Kuhn and Tyler Colombo.
Yeah, Battle right behind Quiring with 10 points. Colombo and Kuhn with 6 and 7. Francis swings it to Peters. Down low for Samuelson, and Samuelson adds to his already game high. He's got 17. Kuhn with it, kicks it out to Kaminsky. Samuelson guarding Kuhn. Kuhn trying to work into the lane, kicks it out. Kaminsky driving in, looking for somewhere to go. 5 on the shot clock. Quiring. Step back, deep 3. And that one doesn't come close. Shot clock violation against the Yellow Jackets. Strong start defensively for the Thunder.
Right, and Quiring's first missed 3-point field goal of the game, now 3 of 4 from there. But a tough one for it to come on where he had to force it.
Peters drives right. Swings it to Francis. Working on Quiring. Francis into the lane. Acrobatic shot. Ball rattles around. Ends up with Featheroff.
Unfortunate for Francis. A dazzling move, but couldn't finish at the end.
Kuhn drives baseline. Stopped up. Kicked out to Featheroff. He's got a good look at a 3. Rebound Gunter. Pushed ahead to Francis. Wide open 3. And that one just barely rims out. Peters got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to the rebound. Yellow Jacket ball.
That a move we're used to seeing from Francis, that jab step to the right, making him think that in transition you'd go to the rim, which ordinarily you would. As good a shooter as Francis is, takes that 3. I don't consider that a forced quick shot because that's one that he's practiced so much and has gotten used to making.
Battle will take the ball up for the Yellow Jackets. Dribble handoff to Kuhn. Battle drives in on Peters and finishes through some contact. Good job by Peters of staying vertical and avoiding his 3rd foul. Gunter on the right wing, up high for Peters. Samuelson draws the attention to Kuhn. Francis, a deep 3. Front irons that one, rebound Kuhn. Kuhn crosses to his left, drives baseline, kicks it out. Kaminsky, wide open look. Shorts that one. Rebound Featheroff. And a timeout called by Coach Heil. His first timeout will take a 30-second. 17.5 to play in regulation, all knotted up at 38. This season, Wheaton Athletics is proud to partner with Realty Executives as the exclusive sponsor of replays on our broadcast. We're happy to welcome Eric Logan, Becky Vanderveen, and the Energized team to the Wheaton Athletics family and extend a special thank you to them for partnering with us to enhance our WTSN broadcast. Just the first time out we've seen all game tonight, if you would believe that, a few minutes into the second half.
Yeah, very interesting, and also coming under the basket where Featheroff was in some trouble, but not too much. So far in the game, the Thunder, even with Aston Francis, 3 of 14 from the field, still shooting 45%. A lot of that coming from Ricky Samuelson, the way he started the season.
Yeah, Ricky Samuelson, 17 points on the night on an uber efficient 85% from the field. A repeat of last night's performance, perhaps. Kuhn's shot won't go. Foul on the rebound. And the boos will rain down from Riken's Rowdies as that'll go against Gunter. Acquiring gets it into Featheroff. Nice inbounds play. Featheroff with a soft touch over the top.
Great play there, drawn up by Coach Heel.
Francis on the right wing. Peters. Kuhn now sticking to Samuelson like glue after that 15-point first half performance, but that glue's not strong enough as Ricky Samuelson finds some space on the back cut.
The reason why that play works is because you're just so not used to seeing a two-guard cut across that close and receive a pass. You think he's going to the corner. Instead, every time stops right there, little righty hook.
Kaminsky, Featheroff up top, hands off to Acquiring, a deep three, and he knocks that one down.
Aston Francis guarding him. That's usually a shot Aston Francis would make over a defender.
Battle guarding Francis. He drives into the lane, and Francis finishes through contact. Right-handed floater.
That's better from him getting to the rim. Even in contact, he might have been able to get a foul call on that.
Featheroff swings it to Battle. Peters guarding Battle. And Peters blocks that away from Battle. Jump ball. It will stay with the Yellow Jackets.
Peters, of course, needing to be careful with 2 fouls. Reaching over a little bit, but got the ball. Good defense. Francis checking out of the game now. Not too happy about it either as he sits down. Maybe feeling like he got his rhythm back with that drive.
Kuhn driving into the lane on Samuelson. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
That's the strength of a player like Cam Kuhn. Going on Samuelson, all he needs is one shoulder past him, another bump going up to the rim, and that's a foul.
It'll be Samuelson's first of the evening. And Kuhn will rattle home his first.
Watching some film of Kuhn before the game, we saw he's not flashy or anything, but just knows how to get his body into the right position to either draw a foul or finish around a defender. And I think we've seen that showcase well in this game.
Yeah, Kuhn very methodical the way he works into the lane. Not necessarily an explosive athlete. Won't blow by you, won't jump over you. He'll just break you down. Quam up top for Eichelberger. Eichelberger driving into the lane, finishes through some contact. Foul on the floor. See it again on the Realty Executives replay. That jab left goes right. Battles through both Featheroff and Battle.
Eichelberger doing exactly what he's supposed to with Featheroff on him. Eichelberger certainly with more speed there, and that ball should not have been allowed to be inbound. Actually, Colombo's
Colombo shouldn't have been allowed to go in. I think that was a early horn to let him in. The ball was already in the hands of the inbounder. Samuelson knocks down the corner three, but an illegal screen. Happens kind of at the bottom of your corner. And I think that's a good call. Eichelberger stepping forward to make contact with Kuhn. Not sure if it was necessary for Eichelberger to do so.
Yeah, it's tough because I think if that happens under the rim on a baseline screen instead of right in front of the ref, he might get away with it.
Peters guarding Battle. Nara. Kuhn with a nice back cut, and he gets his way to the rim.
Kuhn making a mark for himself in this second half. Now with 10 points.
And Samuelson going against Nader will draw the foul. Baldwin Wallace on top 47-42, their largest lead of the night at 5 points. Thunderball on the near side.
Olioff and Francis checking in. So just a really short break for Francis to get right back in there. And then Olioff, of course, with his athleticism, always valuable.
Yeah, it matches up well against Colombo, who is basically a prototypical stretch four. Quam up top, looking down low. Has Alioth. Peters now driving into the lane on Nader. Rises up, left-handed floater, rebound Colombo.
Good shot from Peters, though, to get low on Nader. Try to put that one up with a lefty hook.
Peters now guarding Kuhn. Kuhn will drive into the lane. Floater won't go. Alioth pulls down a huge rebound.
But there you see the dribble moves of Kuhn, able to get even Peters off balance a little bit. Had to pull the arm back.
And the Thunder got to get that ball into Alioth. They had a huge mismatch with Jay Battle switching onto him. And Francis got to the rim but kicked it out to Quam, and then Quam throws it away. Battle reading that pass.
Yeah, Quam leaving his feet, not knowing where he's going to give it.
And it will be Thunder ball. Ref's going to talk about whether there was a deflection, and there is not. So it will stay with Wheaton on the far side. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I really didn't see anything there as far as it deflecting off a Thunder player.
Peters taking it up, Nader guarding him. Francis running off a few screens, trying to lose Battle. In the corner for Spencer, guarded by Nara. Alioth going to work on Colombo, floater in the lane, count the bucket! And Alioth holds his hands up for an extra second or two in celebration.
Yeah, we didn't see much from Alioth offensively in that first game there. A nice flip with the shot clock running down, had to put it up.
So Alioth will go to the line with a chance to complete the three-point play. And he does so. And Coach Schauer is going to take a timeout here for the Thunder. 13:52 left to play in regulation. 47-45. The Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets lead the Wheaton Thunder.
Yeah, Alioth with just 2 points in that first contest, and so far in this one, he's got 5. Baldwin Wallace, on the other hand, Quirine currently sitting on the bench, but with 16 points in this game, and Battle with 12. Kuhn right behind him with 10. I think Quirine's kind of the surprise of giving them a real boost, because we knew that Battle and Kuhn would be the other 2 leading scorers.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Alioth, actually, talking about his offensive production tonight. Not only is he getting a couple points, he's at 7 for the night, but doing so in a pretty impressive manner, rising up in the lane, showing a really good soft touch, which is even more impressive when you know that he's only playing his second ever collegiate game. So to have that kind of touch and feel that comfortable this early in a career, maybe the Nate Haynes comparisons aren't too far-fetched.
I remember hearing that in my earphones last night and being like, wow. I mean, I knew the dude could jump, but I didn't know he could jump. But we're seeing it offensively, defensively, running the floor. Maybe one of the most all-around athletes on this team, as he had his first 2 points in this game was running the floor faster than any other big.
Battle gets it to Nara. Now Colombo driving into the lane, kicked out. Kuhn up top. Gets around Peters, goes into the lane on Spencer, and a traveling violation will give the Thunder the ball. Great help defense from Jay Spencer, a couple different spots on that defensive possession.
Yeah, Spencer in for offensive ability, stretches the floor with a 3-point shot, but also on defense, he can rise up with Alioth just as high. This is a favorable matchup right here, Colombo on Francis, and Francis notices.
He calls his own number on the ISO. This is also a favorable matchup with Alioth now on Nader. And you see there, he rises up, tips that ball over to Peters. Francis working on Colombo again. Quam into the lane, sings it around. Spencer rises up but can't finish.
Too much unselfishness there, in my opinion, from the Thunder players. Yellow Jackets switching everything.
And that's an easy offensive foul as Nader goes flying through the lane. completely out of control. Francis in great position and a great hustle play to just wear that one.
And the funny thing is, it's in the restricted area, but I don't think that matters because it wasn't going up for a basket. So I think that changes things because he was trying to cut through and make a pass.
Yeah, Nader at no point rose up into his shooting motion, just lowered his shoulder the whole way and then tried to throw it into the corner. Quam on the left wing, up top for Gunter. Aliath. Francis, quick release on the three, front iron. Battle tips that one over to Colombo. Kuhn will drive baseline on Peters, and he short arms that one. I think Peters may have gotten a fingertip on it.
Fantastic defense from Peters.
And now Francis driving into the lane, runs into Battle, and the ball tipped around, and Luke Peters finds that one in his lap, just a gift. Gunter now rises up, but will draw the foul on the floor. That's going to go against Jay Battle.
Yeah, that's an easy call. That's exactly what you want to see Trevor Gunter do here with Battle on him. Just go into him, and eventually either a foul will be called or you'll score.
Yeah, that's Battle's second foul, and now this is rare. We see both Battle and Kuhn on the bench. Quiring will be the de facto headman for this Yellow Jacket squad for a little bit.
Yeah, they're going to need to find some scoring. Colombo, also another player who's scored in this game, but they're the only two on the floor right now.
Samuelson swings it around to Gunter. Francis working inside on Quiring. Nice spin, but Quiring, good recovery, gets a hand on that one and affects the shot. Nader into the corner. This is Cebula, and Cebula throws it away. Aliath comes up with it. Peters slowing things down as the Thunder work into their half-court set. And Samuelson draws the foul. It's going to be on the floor. Everybody went silent for a second as he threw up a circus shot. Foul's going to be on Colombo there. And that one, it wouldn't have been that surprising if it went in. Everything Ricky Samuelson has touched this weekend has turned to gold.
I mean, he's shooting 85% through his first two games. I mean, anything this dude throws up goes down.
And Samuelson loses footing, now gets up corner three. Come on. Are you serious? He can't miss.
I mean, he must be serious. He's throwing it down.
Can we just talk about the fact that Samuelson, as that ball was inbounded, was getting back to his feet after falling down, caught it, just stepped back and said, oh, okay, yeah, might as well. And right back at it on the other end.
Featherolf.
Yeah, we've seen Featherolf throw up a couple of threes. He hasn't come close until that one. And the Yellow Jackets back on top by 2.
Yeah, the Thunder had taken the lead by 1 with Samuelson's 3. Then Featherolf says, I'll take my chance to quiet the crowd, go up, back up by 2.
Francis backing down Cebula. Fadeaway jumper, money.
That's the shot you want to see from Francis, where he's got plenty of space. Even though he's creating it for himself, he is a scorer. As long as he has enough space when he takes the shot, those are shots to get him back in the groove.
Kaminsky with it, guarded by Aliath. Cebula swung around. This is Quiring. 7 on the shot clock, working on Peters. Peters in his pocket. Quiring's gonna have to rise up, and Peters just swats that one away, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Thunder ball.
50-50, 9:36.
Luke Peters is a bad man on that defensive effort, knocking that ball down and taking a second to just look at Quiring on the ground.
I think Peters has been a little frustrated with himself at times in this game. So taking that opportunity to get himself back in it, now bringing the ball up. A player who can certainly recover. Just had a few rim out for him so far.
Eichelberger driving in on Kaminsky. Gunter. Back to Peters. 10 on the shot clock. Thunder reset. Peters working on feather off. And Peters, oh my, are you kidding me?
Luke Peters with the behind the head pass. Best pass in basketball in my opinion. I love that.
I almost lost my headset reacting to that pass. That was halfway off my head just from leaning back. Kaminsky pulls up for a deep three, back rims it, Samuelson with the rebound. Thunder up by 2, looking to extend with 8.5 to play. Eichelberger. Jabs left, drives right, rises up, over the top, and one!
Eichelberger has improved so much over the offseason for plays like this. Last season, he'd be going away from this guy. This season, into the body of Kaminsky with the high arcing finish. That's the difference for Kobe Eichelberger this season.
Eichelberger with a chance to convert the three-point play as a few subs come in on either side. Spencer re-enters for the Thunder, Colombo for the Yellow Jackets.
Another thing that's scary about Eichelberger this year, no three-point attempts yet. Big part of his scoring last season was from beyond the three-point arc. Gets his own rebound, puts it in.
Kobe Eichelberger with the ultimate hustle play, rebounding his own missed free throw and finishing through the contact. Thunder matching their biggest lead of the game with 6. Quiring, though, goes right back at him and finishes with a soft touch off the glass. Timeout called by Coach Heel.
Man, you talk about a spark for the Yellow Jackets today. It's been Quiring in a day where Battle and Kuhn maybe haven't quite produced the way they've wanted to. Could obviously produce better. You see Eichelberger there get his own miss on a free throw. And that's so hard to do because the ball has to come directly back to you. You can't cross the plane of the free throw line until the ball's hit the rim, unlike the rest of the players.
And Quiring, as you mentioned, a spark for this Yellow Jackets team, leading Baldwin Wallace with 18 points, would be the high scorer in the game if not for the superhuman on the Wheaton roster named Ricky Samuelson.
Ricky Samuelson, like you said, are we going to keep talking about this guy? Because it just seems to be usual, even though it's only 2 games into the year. Had that play where there was the foul on the floor, threw it up 20 feet into the air, and it almost went down.
I mean, let's just look at the advanced stats for Samuelson. So baseline, overall, he's shooting 8 of 9 from the field tonight, 88.9%. 3 of 3 from deep, 3 of 3 from the charity stripe, 5 rebounds, 1 foul, 26 efficiency rating on a 21 usage rating, .846 points per minute. He's almost scoring a point every minute he's out on the floor. He's just pouring it in from everywhere.
Well, it's not like he's Steve Kerr, you know, playing a few minutes here and there and jacking up threes. I mean, he's jacking up threes and playing the whole game.
Yeah, he's the second leading player for the Thunder in minutes. Aston Francis with 28 minutes, the only one ahead of Samuelson's 26. Francis on the far side, spins into the lane, fades away from Battle, soft touch off the glass.
That is fantastic news for Thunder fans that Aston Francis is finding those 10-foot jumpers.
Kuhn drives right, crosses over. Good help defense from Spencer to keep him out of the lane. Quiring now, kicks it out, Colombo for 3. He gets it to go.
Quiring with that last layup before the timeout, 18 points, now his new career high.
All sorts of records at the Lee Fun Classic as Eichelberger goes into the lane, draws the foul, and he earns himself another 2 free throws.
I believe it's just Coach Tom Heel over there upset about the call on Eichelberger, getting on the refs as well as the Baldwin Wallace players at this point. I can see why. Eichelberger's style when he goes in the lane, sometimes when he gets bumped, it looks like he's embellishing it, but he's really not. It's just kind of his style of play.
Eichelberger shorts his first free throw.
And he couldn't rebound that one. It wasn't live.
He did get it. It just didn't count.
He got it.
Colombo, after picking up his 4th foul, will go to the bench. It was Kaminsky coming in for him.
Oh, yeah.
And Eichelberger knocks down the second. 59-55, about 7 minutes to play in regulation. Kaminsky hands off to Battle. Battle moving to his left, has some space in the lane, and he will finish and one. Eichelberger rose up and tried to sneak that one out of the rim, and just an ill-advised play from Peters as he came flying in late and got Battle from behind. So at the free throw attempt, Battle has a chance to bring Baldwin Wallace within one. Gunter will come in for Eichelberger now.
So now that's the third foul on Peters. Going to have to play a little bit more conservative defensively, not as much as he would with a fourth, and that's why he's still in the game.
And Battle converts the three-point play.
It's going to be tough now with Battle and Kuhn in. I imagine Peters will be on one of them, and he cannot foul and pick up that fourth one at this point in the game.
Yeah, especially in a tight game like this where you always have to keep overtime in the back of your mind. Peters gets it to Samuelson. Francis working down low, and it'll be a foul on the floor. That'll go against Quiring. Get another look at the Realty Executives replay. Francis just got Quiring in the air, leaned into the contact. Savvy play will send Francis to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Quiring, understanding he's 5'9", is a jumpy player and has to get up on Francis. And Francis has recognized that to this point in this game. So he did the pump fake, was able to get him in the air to get to the line.
Francis knocks down his first. And his second rattles out. Rebound, Featheroff. Quiring, dribbling left. Swings it to Battle. Peters on Battle, and have to be careful. Gunter closes out on Featheroff, and Featheroff gets it to go, and the Yellow Jackets are back on top.
Great contest from Gunter, maybe a tad late, but right in the eye of Gunter, Featheroff hit that shot.
Peters resets, finds Francis. Francis a deep three of his own, and that spins around and falls in. Aston Francis using every single part of the rim, all 360 degrees.
And he's shaking his head, but he says, glad to finally get that one to go. As you see, little hop to the side. Little victory lap, maybe a couple of victory laps.
Call it 2 or 3, might as well, and that's just the shooter's touch of Aston Francis. Even when he doesn't get right on, it'll rattle around the rim a little bit, and most often it's going to find a way to go through the bottom of the net.
Yeah, Francis feeling much more confident the last 3 or 4 shots that he's taken, and his efficiency is certainly going up at this point. See Aston Francis 7 of 20 with 19 points. You familiar with the over-the-top stat?
No, I'm not.
Over the top, under the top. So he's got 20 attempts and 19 points, so he's under the top. If he had 21 over the top. So it's just a general efficiency rating. So, but he's getting closer to being more efficient.
And efficiency, not terrible. He's sitting at a 9 efficiency rating. Obviously, you never want to be negative. But you look at Samuelson, which maybe even that's not a great example because he's uber efficient right now at 26. So look at Cade Alioth, 12 efficiency rating. He's 3 of 4 from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a turnover, a steal, a couple fouls. He's pouring it in. He's filling up the stat sheet, and that gives him a pretty solid efficiency rating.
Yeah, and Alioth we haven't seen for quite a while now. Thunder kind of in a groove with this lineup they've got out there. I think Coach Showers riding that. Again, now offensive possession for Baldwin Wallace. Peters on Battle needs to be careful with 3 fouls.
And you also have to imagine Coach Showers is going to stick to a lot of his more veteran guys who have been in this situation before in a game where there has been 19 lead changes so far and 11 ties.
Man, what an effort there from Featheroff with 3-4 tries. The last one went down.
Peters looking down low, and Quiring's going to be whistled for pulling on Samuelson's jersey. See it again on the Realty Executives replay. Quiring just a little bit, the left hand on the left hip of Samuelson. A little too much contact, and Ricky's going to be shooting 2.
Yeah, not a whole lot there. Now acquiring with 3 fouls and 5:33 on the clock.
Something to watch. The Thunder will be shooting 2 free throws on every foul from here on out in the double bonus, and the Thunder have only committed 4 fouls in this half, so still a ways to go if Baldwin Wallace wants to have that advantage as well and even out the score. Samuelson stays perfect from the charity stripe, going 2 of 2 there, puts the Thunder back on top, 65-63. Battle moving left, swings it to Kaminsky. Kaminsky got Eichelberger in the air, and he airmails that one, but Featheroff, the big man down low, corrals it.
What a key that man's been in the last 3 minutes. Able to get 7 points.
And that puts Featheroff into double digits on the night, 10 points, flirting with a double-double with 8 rebounds as well, 3 of them on the offensive end. Eichelberger gets it, finds Samuelson swinging it in, and finishes with the left hand. What can't he do?
Well, an understanding, he's got Quiring on his back hip. The shorter player just needs to go up with the left hand, gets his body in the way, then goes up.
Battle pulls up for a quick 3. Rebound to Francis, and it will stay Yellow Jacket ball. Last touch, Francis. Now we'll see Aliath re-enter as well as Colombo.
It's tough to tell from here. We're looking through a lot of bodies, but it looked like Francis had it, swinging the ball out, and then maybe tipped away by someone.
I think that was the right call. My initial gut reaction, seeing it real time, looked like that ball was off the fingertips of Francis. He just couldn't quite corral it. Good job by Peters, playing solid defense, denying the ball from Battle. Battle now drives left, pulls up, mid-range jumper, rattles it home.
Battle's so good at working a 2-man pick and roll game. Colombo into the game with 4 fouls. He's going to have to be careful the rest of this game.
Peters directing traffic out of the half-court set. Moves right, gets it to Francis. Francis, pull up 3, bang! Welcome back, Aston Francis.
Yeah, he's feeling good now. You can see it on his face.
And Francis now with 19 points. Foul on Aliath on the reach around. Just a little too aggressive by the freshman trying to get in the passing line. Battle gets the handoff off the inbounds play, kicks it out. Kuhn for 3. Front iron. Rebound, Colombo. And Aliath's going to be whistled. That'll be his 4th foul. And Colombo's going to go to the line to shoot a pair. We'll see it again.
That's just a lack of experience from Aliath there. That's being a freshman, that's leaning in. He's got his arms down on him.
Colombo back irons the first. I'm going to stay quiet about that call on Aliath.
Honestly, I thought it was right. I know he didn't go to the air, but to me, I saw both arms coming in on Colombo.
And Colombo rolls home the second. 70-68, 3.5 to play. Peters working at the top of the key. Gets it to Francis. Francis pump fake, calmly steps forward. Another pump fake for 3. Rebound Battle.
Sometimes Francis has trouble picking his spots. Gets a steal though.
Throws it ahead to Gunter. Gunter working in transition. Soft touch at the rim.
And that's all from the pass. Steal then pass from Aston Francis.
And give credit to Gunter, a big man running the floor. Kuhn gets a wide open corner 3. Can't convert. Rebound Colombo.
Peters might have gotten away with a reach there on the rebound.
Get your touches in, Pitt. Ball came over towards us. You got your hands in there.
It feels good. You know, it feels good.
You got to get your touches in.
I missed the game, man.
Inbounded to Colombo. Battle driving in, trying to work on Peters. Kicked out to Kuhn. Kuhn spinning in the lane, working down low, and Featheroff slams it home with two hands.
Featheroff almost single-handedly keeping them in the game down the stretch. 9 points the last 5 minutes.
Samuelson, entry pass to Francis, working all alone in the lane, floater short, rebound Featheroff.
Good shot from Francis, just didn't go down.
Battle working on Peters. Peters staying aggressive pretty well, even with 3 fouls. And he's going to be whistled against Kuhn there. And that'll be Peters' 4th.
You see there on the replay, there were about 3 or 4 different places where Kuhn could have taken a shot. Deking defenders left and right, gets all the way to the rim, and probably should have had an and one. He's probably upset with himself.
So Kuhn with a chance to tie the game here, has a pair of free throws. Inside 2 minutes to play. And it doesn't look like anybody's coming over to sub in for Peters. So I guess Coach Schauer is going to let this one play out.
Yeah, 2 minutes. As key a player as he is, you just got to trust him the rest of the way to be able not to foul.
And Kuhn converts 2 of 2. And Coach Heel will take a full timeout. This one coming down to the wire. 72 apiece, a minute 53 to play in King Arena in the championship game for the Lee Fun Classic. Earlier in the day, the Thunder women's basketball team won the Beth Baker Classic, going 2-0 on the weekend. Thunder guard Maggie Dansdale was named the tournament MVP.
Yeah, great game for them, able to pull it out against a good opponent in Louisiana College. Great coach, Coach Carter, set up her team well. And the Thunder they've got a lot more height now. They've got a lot more height. Their starting lineup, everybody's above 5'9". You've got Jordan Myroth, who's a 5'11" point guard. And she almost, it's funny to watch her play because she almost tricks people into thinking that she doesn't have that good of handles at 5'11". And then she does a really quick crossover, inches below the ground, and she's at the rim.
Yeah, and it's incredible. And let's not forget about the 6'2" trio of Devin Kyler, Jill Berg, and Hannah Frazier, who effectively blocked out the sun today against that Louisiana College lineup.
Yeah, 10-plus blocks for them. Hannah Frazier with 20 points on the day. A key transfer from St. Louis University for Coach Madsen coming into this year, where he lost such a great class, but he adds such a great player in Frazier.
Yeah, and Frazier with pretty huge shoes to fill if she was to be the replacement for Considine, and she's done a pretty decent job so far.
Well, and Hannah Considine's younger sister Heidi on the team now as well.
Eichelberger driving in on Featheroff, kicks it out to Francis. Francis steps back, tries to draw the contact. No good, rebound Featheroff.
You can see from Coach Schauer's reaction, that's not quite the shot he wanted.
Battle taking his time here. And that'll be a travel on Battle. He lost his pivot foot. And he's upset with that one, but I think that's the right call. He pretty clearly had just the edge of his shoe and started to slide across the ground. Got a little bit ahead of himself.
Yeah, Coach Tom Heel, also his coach, clarifying that he also thought it was a traveling call.
Francis swings it to Peters.
These possessions so crucial now, the last minute of the game.
Gunter, 10 seconds on the shot clock. 5. Francis gonna have to do something. Rises up for a deep 3 and doesn't get a rim. Rebound, Colombo. Could see just one more shot from either side, tied at 72. And with 36 seconds left, Coach Heel is gonna take another timeout.
Yeah, it's a smart decision to set up the play that you want because you really need to score. If you don't score here, the Thunder get the ball back and they can run the shot clock all the way down to take the last shot of the game with a tie game.
So all the excitement we can handle and more on the final day of the Leaf Fund Classic. We mentioned that game between River Falls and DePaul going into overtime in a pretty controversial ending where River Falls was able to pull one out.
Yeah, fantastic game. River Falls able to get the job done over their opponent. So far in this game, 13 turnovers for Baldwin Wallace, 10 for the Thunder. Last season, Baldwin Wallace averaged around 10 turnovers per game, so the Thunder forcing a few more in that regard. And then second chance points, 22 for Baldwin Wallace, 7 for the Thunder.
Yeah, I was just about to say something about the rebounding differential. After we saw the Thunder lead the rebound differential by +7 last night, they are -17 tonight, 41-24 in favor of Baldwin Wallace. 15 of those 41 rebounds for the Yellow Jackets on the offensive end. Thunder just getting outclassed, the difference being the second chance points, as you mentioned.
Right, and so much of that has been feather off, especially in the last 5 minutes of this game. Able to come up with 9 points, 6 of them at the rim and 1 3-pointer.
Quiring will inbound this ball. Francis giving him plenty of space. He gets it into battle. Feather off. Kuhn. Kuhn getting into the lane, step back, mid-range jumper. He gets it to go. Shot clock will be off. And the Thunder will have a chance down to the last shot.
What a shot from Kuhn. I mean, holy crap. I mean, he was stepping back like he was about to go for a left-handed shot, then had to turn his entire body to get that up with his right hand. Back of the iron, straight in, and now we'll see what Coach Schauer draws up. Ricky Samuelson, red hot. Aston Francis, your All-American. Who do you choose?
I don't know about you, but I think I might be hearing the Ricky Samuelson theme music flashing back to the game a couple years ago against Augustana on senior night. A corner three with 5 seconds on the clock to send the Thunder into overtime against the #1 team in the nation and the eventual national runner-up.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see a play run for a corner three right here, either for Francis or for Samuelson as a free. Obviously, 2-point lead for Baldwin Wallace will put the Thunder on top.
And Battle's going to provide at least a little semblance of pressure on Peters, force him to take the ball right away and start the clock.
I think it'd be great to see Peters just go quick here.
15 seconds. Francis with it inside. Samuelson, baseline, and one! Ricky Samuelson! Come on!
He's unbelievable.
Mama, there goes that man.
Got to start calling him Ricky Samuelson believable. The dude doesn't stop, man.
And you can hear King Arena exploding right now all around us.
One of the most unexpected stories for the Thunder so far this season is Samuelson is now, it's going to get dead quiet in here.
And Samuelson converts. He's got 29.
Watch for Kuhn, Quiring, and Battle here.
6 seconds. It's Kuhn. Takes it left. Pulls up for a three. Airmails it. And the Thunder are going to pull this one out. Less than a second on the clock. Francis comes back in. What a finish.
Also had Peters in there on defense with 4 fouls. Figures with 10 seconds left, doesn't really matter who makes the, or if he fouls out, you know, just 10 seconds left. Especially in a 1-point game. This game wasn't going to overtime most expectedly unless someone ended up at the free throw line. 0.7 seconds. All you need is an inbound. I think you just throw it to the other side of the court.
A clean inbound, make sure. Yeah, honestly, that's a good idea.
Just throw it to the free throw line.
Put everybody at half court, throw the ball up. As soon as somebody touches that ball, the clock starts, it's over.
Yeah, I put
we got to get you in the huddle over there,
Three tallest players at the three-point line, at your own three-point line or the free throw line, just throw it down there and say, hey, all we got to do is tip it as high in the air as you can.
You don't even need to tip it high in the air. Just get the touch on it.
Yep.
Let the clock start, and this one's over.
Direct it somewhere.
And I think that's what the Thunder might do. It looks like their players are setting up all at half court.
And why wouldn't you put in Spencer Peterson for it?
Why not? Yeah, why not put in Peterson, Alioth? Just get your most athletic jumpers in there.
I was thinking for the throw, quarterback.
That's true.
Peters has been designated for this position, though. We've seen it in the past. For the long pass, he's the guy.
And honestly, why not throw it off the side of the leg of Featheroff? Into Quam, this one's over. Can't foul, the Thunder pull it out behind yet another superhuman performance from Ricky Samuelson. A career-high 34 last night, 29 tonight, including the icing and one. You can't say enough about this kid.
It was 29? It was the quietest 29 I've ever seen. Golly, you talk about a guy now. 29 points, 34, averaging 32.5 points per game. Another unbelievable performance from him. 10 of 11 from the field for Ricky Samuelson. 3 of 3 from deep, so doing a lot more work on the inside. And then Aston Francis, 8 of 25 from the field, 22 points. Still scoring the way that he's supposed to. Kobe Eichelberger, 3 of 3 from the field with 8 points. And we're going to have Coach Schauer down on the court with Nate Stein after winning this Lee Fun Classic.
Post Ricky. So, kudos to Aston, who struggled those 2 previous possessions, taking shots that we just don't need him to take, to not force it. I knew if we could get it to him, he draws so much attention that we could dump it into Ricky. And how good was Ricky this weekend? I mean, he was as good as I've ever seen him. And here's the thing, he's been playing like this since October 15th. Huge, huge win for our team.
And Coach, you took the words out of my mouth. Ricky Samuelson, fantastic this weekend. A career-high 34 last night, pouring in 29, including the game winner tonight. What can you say about that besides just amazing?
Yeah, I'm just so happy for him. Anybody that knows Slick, he's just a very humble, quiet, he's just not an attention seeker, but he's just become such a good player. And if he and Aston can kind of ham and egg it a little bit, we're going to be a tough team to guard.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. There you have your final score from King Arena. The Wheaton Thunder 75, the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets 74. The Thunder pull out the victory beneath another superhuman performance from Ricky Samuelson. Thanks for watching the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. For Andrew Pitkin, I'm Nate Stein. Have a good one.
He's a Wheaton Hall of Fame, and he saw the legendary Wheaton College basketball coach Wheaton, who this tournament is named after. And this time, John Ward was the alternate team. Earlier from the ball, Steve Ogle, and from River Falls, Alex Perry. From Baldwin Wallace on the alternate team, Jay Bell. And the recipient of the Will Landry Memorial MVP Award goes to Ricky Samuelson. At this time, we can have this from Baldwin, Wallace, who is at the Leaf on Classic second place trophy. Congratulations to the Yellow Jackets on a terrific weekend. And now, the captain